It was a big thing in Ohio. On the day the first supercomputer arrived, we had a couple of interesting goals that we had to deal with. One, it was on a trailer on a early June day, and once we got it off the truck, we had to roll it through most of KRC, which is where the computer was going to be installed. And when we started to get it down the hallway, we weren't sure it would fit down the hallway. And we did run into the problem when we got to the first set of doors that the computer was actually too tall for the doors. One of the reasons OSC came into existence was that actually because of a loss at Ohio State. Ohio State had applied for a National Science Foundation grant to become a supercomputer center funded by the NSF, and they didn't get it. It was a call to action for some people, and a couple of, at that time, young chemists here at Ohio State, Dr. Bill McCurdy and Dr. Russ Pitzer, got together with some of their colleagues here on campus and decided to push that Ohio State was big enough and important enough to have their own supercomputer center. And they started to do the work and made it happen.
I believe that certainly the OSC of 25 years ago had a simple mission of delivering vector supercomputing on modest amounts of data with a liaison with the effort at then ACAD to provide the visualization tools necessary to interpret data. Visualization was a capital-intensive business in those days, so that everyone did not have a sophisticated graphics processor on their desktop PC. So one of our earliest charges was to find ways of visualizing data using expensive central facilities. OSC has successfully evolved from that dual role to primarily a parallel computing shop with a large data component. And so the fundamental role, deep computing, is still there. The way in which it is done, the tools with which it is done, the languages with which it is done, the degree of customer programming, all of those have changed. But it has been a gradual evolution, which has probably been represented more than anything else by generations of graduate students.
The value of OSC to OSU research is really manifold. It does provide an incredible infrastructure for the researchers to use, and I am always impressed with the diversity of areas which make use of supercomputing, from climate science all the way to energy and sustainability, medicine, agriculture, pharmacy, engineering, and obviously computation. I think one of the most impressive examples of OSC is what's going on in climate change with David Bromwich. He is actually doing a reconstruction of the entire Arctic area using databases from the last 11 years, from satellite recordings, and also from maps of millions of square miles of weather data, and putting this all together using the supercomputer to create this reconstruction of the Arctic system. OSC has evolved, I think, over the last 25 years from an organization that is, primarily a high-tech research organization to one that has much more of an outreach focus. The idea of leading, partnering, and empowering. Leading, doing your own research here, doing very, sort of high-tech collaboration with investigators at OSU, to partnering with industries and institutions across the state, taking advantage of the very high-tech equipment that is here, and finally empowering through the cyber infrastructure to really provide an impressive environment for research and industry collaboration to be performed.